Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's me again, Set here, King of Hell himself. Yes, sir, Bob. Um, High Evolutionary, King the Conqueror, and all that good stuff. Super villain energy all day, every day. Um, it's funny. It's funny that I say super villain energy because it's kind of like I made a video about demons the other day saying that in order to become a demon, you have to have an incredible amount of love. You have to, like, not necessarily an incredible amount of love. It's not that huge. But um, pause. But um, you gotta have conviction, and a lot because love is synonymous to conviction, right? It at the end of the day, okay, you might not care about like political point of views and things like that, blah blah blah, but the amount of love that you are projecting for the thing that you love almost becomes as if it almost becomes a conviction, right? So there's a little bit of conviction involved in it, and there's a little bit of love involved in it too, right? A lot of it. You got to go to the extreme of your love in order to become a demon, right? Um, if you like killing people, well, you gotta really love killing people to become a demon, right? So so you can become. It's easy. So this is why Lucifer is the god of love, because love is the starting point of everything. If you go out a job, um, well, you have to love what you do to be. If you go out a job and you love doing your job and you've been doing the job for blah 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 X amount of time, that means you love what you're doing, right? Like you love your job, right? So the love is, and that's a very basic mindset because some people don't understand when you go too far in metaphysical aspects and shit like that, right? But let's just say you're going at a job, right? You go at the job every day and you don't have to be happy. I'm not talking about happiness. I'm talking about just being able to continue on what you're doing. There's something about it that you love. Either maybe it's the money aspect that you love, maybe it's the what I'm trying to say here is that love is the starting point of everything that you do in life. Even somebody that does bad things, they love doing bad things. So love is the starting point of everything. They're not doing it because they don't love it, because if they did love it, they wouldn't be doing it. Period. Love is the starting point of everything. So Lucifer is actually the god of love, not the god of wrath, not the god of, I don't know what to call him, not the god of lust, not the god of wrath, not the god of pride. Well, actually, yes, he is, but so on and so on, right? Because it is possible for a god to have more than one aspect to their being, right? Most gods have many names. But one thing that is for sure, one thing that people need to understand is that Lucifer is also the god of love, right? Um, so what we're gonna talk about today is um, why does Satan have a goat's head? Why does Satan have a goat head, and what does it mean to everybody else? The reason why he has a goat head, right? I'm trying not to burp in the. I'm trying not to burp here. Sorry. Because when I do that, people think I'm like the evil spirit in me is like, it's trying to get the fuck out of here. Shut the fuck up. Like it's, like like I don't know, like, but sometimes I'm not gonna lie. When you channel spirits, you do have that kind of like it doesn't make you nauseous, but there's so much energy that's coming in you, it almost feel like it's gonna come out, So, when I do that, I do that a lot, especially recently because I've been channeling and I've been talking about demonology and demons and Satan and all that fucking good stuff, So a lot of people see me, you know, they think I'm gonna fucking throw. No, I'm not gonna fucking throw up. Right? There's things that would make me throw up. It has nothing to do with demonology. So, anyways, quick side note. Sorry about that. Just letting you know, right? And I digest. I'm a human. I have a digestive tract, right? I'm partly human. So because I'm partly human, I have a digestive tract, which actually makes gases or make me have a certain little how do you say comeuppance, internal, comeuppance. Sometimes you feel like whatever. I'm not gonna throw up. I don't feel like throwing up. I'm not talking about anything disgusting. I'm just, Lucifer is not turning me into some fucking exorcist, the exorcist movie where my head starts turning 360 and I'm just start barfing everywhere. You're fucking crazy if that's what you think and you need some fucking help. Well, okay, maybe not that much, but a little bit. Like just a small tad. Because the thing, at the end of the day, the only reason why people have that knee-jerk reaction to demonologists or people that talk about demons or Satanism or things like that is because of Christianity. So, and they're trying to fucking find, even though you're making sense and everything that you're saying is true and that you're making sense, the person has been in that mindset for so long. Now it's trying to find a way to defend itself against what it's seeing, right? It's trying to find like the error instead of listening and finding the logic. They're not listening and they're trying to find the error so that they can so that that will enable them to keep doing what they're doing instead of changing for the better. They keep trying to find ways or reasons why they should remain the way they are instead of going forward. So it is what it is. Everybody's guilty of doing that a little bit. I'm pretty sure I'm guilty of doing that a little bit sometimes. I'm not fucking perfect. I'm not perfect. Some people think I am. I don't think I am. I could say that I am, but that doesn't mean that I believe that I am, right? So it's like if I say I'm God, I can say I'm God all fucking day. That doesn't mean that I really believe that I'm God, bro. I'm just saying I'm God. So there's a difference. Because there's some people that will believe that shit and then they're gonna jump over a fucking bridge and die. And then they will prove to themselves that they are not fucking God. So that's not my fucking case. I'm not saying that all the things that I say here on my fucking channel is strictly for entertainment purposes, which it is not. But at the end of the day, you have to have some kind of discernment. You have to have a limit to your imagination. There has to be a limit, or a limit to your creativity, a limit to your imagination, where you don't go overboard and actually think that you're fucking Superman and that you can fly out of a fucking, jet airplane that's flying 50 feet over, 50 fucking yards over the fucking sky and then splatter your brain all over the fucking pavement. Right? So, back to what we were saying. Um, the GOAT. Why is the GOAT such an important thing? And why is it even disrespectful and sad? The GOAT story, right? The GOAT is seen as the GOAT has been. Lucifer has a tendency in his persona. If you take notice, Lucifer tend to self-deprecate. Lucifer tends to self-deprecate. Lucifer has this tendency to give himself the energy of the thing that you don't like, right? When I say you, I mean God. If God doesn't like something, he's going to take on that energy. So Lucifer is the epitome of Lucifer is the epitome of alchemy, right? He has been al- alchemicizing. I don't know how to say that word. I ain't gonna lie. He has been doing alchemy with negative energies since the beginning of time. Since the beginning of time. So people called him Satan. Lucifer was not Satan. Lucifer was Lucifer, right? He only became Satan once everybody started to call him Satan. And then he said, you know what? If you want to call me Satan, then that's what I am. I am what I am. So, and then people started to call him a demon. Lucifer was not a demon. Lucifer only became a demon. Lucifer was Lucifer. Lucifer was Lucifer, and Lucifer was Satan at that point. And then people started to use the word demon. So now Lucifer became a demon. So then Lucifer became Satan, right? But when he was first born as Lucifer. So the so Lucifer was not known as the goat. But since you want to call him a goat, okay, I will take that title too. So Lucifer is the king of taking titles and making it his own. He flips the script on people. You want to insult him? Well, he's not going to insult you back. He's going to take that insult and he's going to make it part of his energy. So the more insult you throw at him, the more things that's going to come back around to you. That's how he works. That's alchemic. That's personal. That's persona alchemicization. That is a word that I totally just invented at this present time and moment. Please forgive me. you know. So Lucifer is the king of alchemically transforming um, people's ideals and creating a energy and a thought form that will um, give him the energy that he needs, the sustenance that he needs in order to progress and continue, in order to keep keeping on. Pardon my reference here, but that's what it is. Because he doesn't need. It's not something that he needs to eat. He'll still be Lucifer. He'll still be the adversary of God at the end of the day. No matter what. But those titles and those negative energies that people send him, he takes it and flips it over. So he's actually making a good thing out of being called Satan. It's actually a good thing. He's not insulting. Lucifer is not sitting there and saying, oh, God is this and the angels are that and people are this and people are that. He's not saying none of that shit. He's not throwing insults. There's no Luciferian book where Lucifer is like, humans are trash and fucking God is a piece of shit and angels should all fucking die. There's nothing that does not exist. It never existed and it never will, because it's not a thing. So Lucifer actually alchemicizes people's ideas of him. And it's not just people's idea of him, it's also God's idea of him. So the first insult that God threw at him was the goat. So he made people kill goats. He made people sacrifice goats, just like he did. Well, he didn't really sacrifice Lucifer, but he usurped power and he did sacrifice Lucifer because Lucifer and God knew each other a long time ago, right? So he sacrificed the friendship, or he sacrificed, well, not the friendship, he sacrificed the relationship that he had with darkness to go find the light, right? Because at the end of the day, God comes from darkness too. In the beginning, there was darkness, and then there was light, right? So he comes from the darkness also. At the end of the day, end of story. So the first insult that was thrown at Lucifer was the goat. And that's why you read in the Bible, Lucifer has a goat head and another head and another head and another head. I don't remember all the heads. There's like 5, 6 of them. I don't fucking remember. I know there's one. There's a goat. There is a goat involved. in the heads. you know, so and people always depict Lucifer as a goat too. And the energy worked because at the end of the day, you know, uh, people don't see goats as a bad thing necessarily. It's like in popular culture nowadays, when you call somebody the goat, he's the greatest of all time, right? Um, Satanists use goat heads. They always use goat heads. They always have a goat head imagery and shit like that. It's not to insult Lucifer. It's not because they're trying to sacrifice Lucifer. It's because that's the image. Lucifer did a great job at not saying shit about it, not having a not having a childlike tantrum about it, uh not being annoyed by it. No, he wants me to be a goat. I'll take it. I'm a goat. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Whatever. But the insult is the reason where the thing where people need to realize that all that they've been doing for these past ages was black magic is that you're sacrificing the fucking goat. You're killing the fucking goat. And you're saying that's why we call it scapegoating, right? And that's also the reason why people believe Azazel is Lucifer, which he is not. Azazel is a completely different entity, you know, one that I do not trust, unfortunately. But there's this disconnect where people, well, not a disconnect, but there's this thing where people think like, oh well, Azazel has to be Lucifer since he's represented as the scapegoat and blah 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 blah. That's where scapegoating comes from. And you have to understand, scapegoating is when you put all of your the reason why people used to sacrifice goats is because they used to put all of their bullshit in. This is a ritual that you learn from Christianity that I suspect that people learn from God, right? At the end of the day, you can say whatever you want. You can change history if you want, but at the end of the day, if we're going to go down the line of who did what and said what, where, when, where, and not use imagination, God taught you how to sacrifice a goat. And then a person also, I think it was Moses. I think it was Moses. I'm not sure, but I think it was Moses came down the mountain telling people to sacrifice goats. So, and the reason why they needed to sacrifice goats is because uh, they needed to put Sodom and Gomorrah, I guess Sodom and Gomorrah needed to put all of their sins within the goat. So when they did the ritual, all of the sins of Sodom and Gomorrah and the people of Israel, all of their sins were put into the goat. And it was a ritual to put all of their sins into the goat and then kill the goat. And so that the essence of the goat will go up to the heavens, and then so that they will be forgiven for all of their sins, right? Because at the end of the day, you don't want to kill the goat, you have to kill the goat. So, and you have to kill the goat because you want to beg for forgiveness for all of your past sins. So people would ritualistically and habitually sacrifice goats. But the thing is, goats also represent Lucifer. So when God tells you to sacrifice a goat, he's basically telling you what he did to Lucifer, because everything comes from somewhere, right? It's not a random act for a God to be like, oh, sacrifice a fucking giraffe. Like, that's random. That would be random. You know what the fuck? A giraffe? Like, why would I? I mean, I mean, you would do it, but it's kind of random. It's pretty tall. It's very inconvenient. You know what I mean? It's it's not. But it would make. But that's the reason why it would feel fucking random, because it's not convenient. It's probably fucking hard to do, and they're fucking tall and they're big. But you would be like, sacrifice a fucking, if you fucking love me and you fucking regret what you did, sacrifice a fucking giraffe or a fucking elephant. You know what I mean? You know, that's the kind of, whatever. I'm talking about something else here, but you know. But anyways, to continue on this elucidation, uh, so God told you sacrifice the goat, right? Sacrifice the horn-headed beast. Sacrifice the horn-headed beast. So Lucifer, God sacrificed Lucifer. He didn't sacrifice Lucifer as in, he threw him over a bridge, or, you know, something like that. So no, he sacrificed the relationship he had with Lucifer, which means he created a bad guy, right? There was no bad guys. But since he needed somebody to take the role of a bad guy so that people would trust in him, he made Lucifer the scapegoat. So Lucifer is the one responsible for people doing bad things. Lucifer is the one responsible for your life being fucked up. He's the scapegoat. Because nobody blames God for shit being bad. Nobody blames God for people signing deals, signing 360 deals and shit going bad. Nobody's blaming God for a bunch of fucking grown-ups to be a bunch of fucking pedos. Nobody's blaming God for any of that shit. Even though it happens up to, even though whatever, even though it's clear to see that, where the shit is coming from, people still don't blame God for all that shit. They blame Lucifer. So Lucifer is the goat. He's the scapegoat. He has all of your sin within him. That's what he is. That's what he does. Well, that's not who he is, but it's part of his energy. And not that he doesn't give a it's not that I'm saying he doesn't give a fuck, but all power to him. As long as you keep believing in him, it's the best thing ever. You know what I mean? So, regardless of course, if you have negative energy about thinking about him, that's your business. He still receives energy at the end of the day. He can still sustain his power like that, just like God sustains his power with your belief. At the end of the day, it's still belief. Whether you believe that he's bad, you still believe that he's bad. So there's still energy going towards him. If you believe that he's good, you still believe that he's good. Whether you think he's good, you still believe there's still belief in there. So that energy goes to him. So all of your good energy, all of your positive energy, which is very strong actually, which is very powerful, your powerful positive energy goes to God, which is the wrong person to give your energy to. And your negative energy, which is okay, I guess, in some shape or form. I mean, like, it's okay, it's not the best, but I'm not Lucifer. But I can't tell Lucifer what to think or what to do. I'm not, well, yes, I am, but yes, I am. What am I talking about? It's not great. It's not the best energy. What we need is more positive energy to come towards us, but fear is good. Fear is very powerful, because there's negative energy and then there's fear, because fear is very powerful. So when people fear you, it's just as good as when people like you. But when we're talking about like after thoughts, like negative thoughts are on a lower frequency. It's on a lower frequency. Positivity is on a very high frequency. So when we're talking about frequencies here, of course positivity would be better, and it is possible to see Lucifer, even though he might be a god that you should fear. It is still possible to respect him, and when you respect him, that's still positive energy. When you admire him, it's still positive energy. When you are devoted, it's still positive energy. When so there is ways to give Lucifer positive energy instead of giving negative energy, because that's the thing about people that do actually Luciferians or Satanism. They're giving off positive energy. They're not giving off negative energy. You think of negative and positive as a political standpoint. When you're not thinking of negative and positive as a political standpoint, you understand that, even though the thing that you are in might seem negative to everybody else, well, to you it's positive, right? You're giving off positive energy. You're giving off a high frequency, right? So that might mean a lot of things for a lot of people. But at the end of the day, it's still what it is. So so it's all about where it's you that decides where your energy goes. It's you that decides where your energy goes at the end of the day. Of course, I can tell you to not go towards that, but at the end of the day, it's your choice to put your energy where you want to put your energy in, right? So, scapegoating, right? So, this is relative to, let's take a break from Lucifer and God here for 2 seconds. Scapegoating is also a nifty little trick, right? That the gods have invented because, you know, people tend to sacrifice other people. But the thing that people don't understand about gods, gods are not beings that want other people to get hurt, right? And unfortunately, they still do, right? So what the gods did, they did this little trick. They pulled this little trick on humans, whereas when you scapegoat somebody, you're actually it's alchemical. Well, that's it's not even the gods. What am I talking about? It's not the gods. I'm still talking about alchemy and hermeticism here. Let's talk about alchemy and hermeticism. My bad. You know, um, there's certain gods that I appreciate a lot, and I tend to always go back around to that. My bad. So, anyways, we're still talking about alchemy. I want to talk about alchemy, and I do tend to say alchemy a lot nowadays because I feel like people don't believe in metaphysics. And I feel like when you go and you start talking about metaphysics, people just fucking tune off, and when you say the word alchemy, it's more down to earth, and it is more down to earth, and it's undeniable facts too. You can't you can't go against somebody that's explaining something to you on an alchemic basis because it's fucking true. Like, you can't. It's just true. You can't, so anyways, on an alchemic level, if you scapegoat someone, right? If What goes around comes around, right? Whatever you perceive persists, right? And things along those lines, right? So, alchemically speaking, you're scapegoating somebody. You're putting your hate and your judgment on the person. But just as Lucifer, this is the reason why you should have Luciferian energy, and you should have demonic energy, because it is demonic energy. You are receiving demonic energy, but it's a good thing that you're receiving demonic energy. This person is actually giving you power because what you perceive persists. Of course, when you're getting bullied or you're getting pushed around or you're getting walked all over on, it doesn't fucking feel like that. You feel like shit. You feel like shit. You feel like shit, and you feel like shit. But if you stop feeling like shit for a second, you're gonna start noticing some things here and there. That's why, in the movies, they always like, if the bully pushes you, push back. True, because you never know what you might find. You could be a very fucking powerful human being and you have no fucking clue because you're sitting there feeling bad that everybody's pushing you around. Yes, the whole town is pushing you around. The whole town is bullying you. But you need to understand there's a reason why it's not just one person bullying you. There's a reason why it's not just two-person bullying you. There's a reason why it's not just five-person bullying you. There's a reason why it's not just the city bullying you. There's a reason why it's not just the country bullying you. There's a reason why it's not just the earth bullying you. You know what I mean? And so on and so on and so on and so on, right? This is Inceptions. And this is Leonardo DiCaprio Inception fucking movie, right? Where people just, if you wake up if you're walking like in the Matrix, if you're flying everywhere like in the Matrix and you're fucking doing kung fu versus fucking agents and shit, the fucking people, the NPCs, as some people like to call them, are gonna start to react because you're not supposed to be doing that in the fucking dream. This is a fucking dream. You're supposed to be fucking dreaming. You're not supposed to be fucking flying around and doing fucking kung fu fu and shit. No, this ain't what the story is. And when you start doing kung fu and shit, and you start flying around, you're gonna start to notice that the whole motherfucking world is against you because you're like a fucking flower popping out of the ground. Everybody else is grass. The whole place is grass, and then there's a fucking flower. Like, so the grass is going to create some sort of defensive mechanism to fucking chop off the fucking flower so it doesn't grow out the fucking ground, because it's not supposed to be flowers. It's supposed to be grass, but they're supposed to be flowers, but people think it's supposed to be grass for some fucking reason I do not know, and I do not fucking care. Or maybe I do know, I just don't give a shit. Or maybe I do give a shit, but I just don't want to say it in this video. Or maybe I'm just whatever. So the point is, everybody's fucking grass, and you're not supposed to be a fucking flower. Like, but you're supposed to be a flower because everybody else is supposed to be a flower. But because of some thing, because of gravity, okay, let's just blame gravity. I don't have a problem with gravity. Just let that be known that gravity. You know what I mean? Me and you, buddy, me and you. I'm just giving an example. So anyways, so let's just say gravity, right, decided that everybody must be grass. Then everybody said, you know what? Gravity said we must all be grass, so let's all be grass. So every time a flower pops up, they're like, what the fuck is that? Well, and then there's a little thing called, there's a little thing that happens where everybody's like, well, wait, give it a minute, give it a second. Maybe the flower is gonna come back, is going to turn back into some grass, right? So they give you a chance. So life gives you a chance to be like, well, maybe it's gonna be grass. Maybe it's gonna be grass. Let's just give it a minute. Maybe it's gonna be grass. You can't be fucking grass. You're a fucking flower. But people are fucking delusional. So people are fucking crazy, and they're fucking delusional, and they're fucking fanatics. So, because of that, they have, irrational fucking trains of thoughts, right? So they're sitting there waiting on you to become grass, even though that's literally fucking impossible. And the thing is, they can't fucking cut you down because, they're trying, but how the fuck is grass going to cut a fucking flower down? You must be out your fucking mind, right? So anyways, they try to, it's not very successful, but they fucking try to. But the thing is, the flower, you're like this. You're supposed to be like this, but you're like this because you're kind of like, man, all the fucking grass hate my motherfucking ass because I'm a motherfucking flower. So you walking around like this. Walking around like this, bro. I'm a fucking flower, and then nobody likes the fact that I'm a fucking flower, but you're supposed to be standing up like this. It's not your fault that you're taller than everybody else. Not your fault that you look like a motherfucking giant compared to all this motherfucking grass. It's not your fucking fault. You was born that way. It's not your fucking fault. It isn't. It's not. It's not. Everybody can make you feel like it's your fault. Everybody can make you feel like there's something wrong with you for being a fucking flower, but that's what people fucking do. Because everybody else is fucking grass. So, you know what I mean? So there's defensive mechanism. So all that grass is going to evolve into having a defensive mechanism to try to get you like this. And hopefully you're going to go back like this and then like this and then, grass. But that's fucking illogical. That's not how shit works. That's literally not possible. That is physically impossible. A flower cannot go back into grass. Grass is supposed to grow into a flower. That's the logical way of doing things. Grass is supposed to grow into a flower. You don't ask a flower to go back down to grass. That makes no fucking sense. So, about goats. Like about goats. And it's great food, and grass is great food for goats. So and that there's probably a metaphor there somewhere. I'm gonna leave you to find it. So anyways, so yeah, man. Christianity, God is an evil entity, very evil entity. That will stop at nothing to control people and to control the universe. If it is even capable of controlling the universe, I do not know. But it's a very evil entity that will try to control you to the best of his abilities. It will lie, it will deceive, it will blind, it will do everything in its power to make you believe in it. Lucifer does not try to make you believe in him. He never did, and he'll never try. He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to. He's already ready. He's already ready. He's already everywhere. You just don't notice. Or maybe you do notice, but you choose not to. I don't know. It depends on the person. It depends on who I'm speaking to. So, I don't want to make this video too long. There's probably a lot of shit that I could have said. There's probably a lot of shit that I should say. But you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna let you think about the grass for a second. Have a good one. Peace out.